My name is Emily Hallock. I've been teaching at LMU since last fall, so fall of 2013, and I'm in the political science department here. I teach 2 classes. Currently, I teach one other course, and next quarter I'm going to be teaching at both UCLA and Cal State LA. It's actually really difficult to make sure that you can cram everything you need to do at one campus into the days that you're actually able to be there.
Yeah.
So sometimes it means I'm meeting with students at like 8 o'clock at night in my office at UCLA or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is not an optimal situation. So I would say in terms of the people I interact with on a daily basis here, it's a lot better. It's not, at least at the department or the college level, it's not a giant faceless bureaucracy. There are definitely some things that LMU does much better, which is at the department level, and also the fact that I'm teaching classes of 20 students apiece here. On the other hand, right, you may have heard the UC has been having a budget crisis since about 2008 or so, when I was a second year in grad school. And despite that, and despite all of their budgeting problems, they're still able to come up with decent pay and benefits for their part-timers. So I think if a public school in a cash-strapped state can do that, then a private institution that prides itself on its Catholic tradition and its Jesuit values should be able to at least match what UCLA does. Of course it is. Something that's really bothered me a lot about some of the administration's propaganda about the prospect of unionizing, and sort of in the larger national debate that's coming up about adjunct labor, that universities simply can't afford to pay adjuncts a living wage and give them benefits. A budget is a balancing act. There are plenty of things in LMU's budget that could be trimmed so that the people who provide the majority of the one essential service of a university, which is teaching, so that people who provide that service actually get a living wage. I think it's a great idea, and I think it's a great idea for a number of reasons. One is because, and I've seen what unions do, they force administrators to treat their employees, their workers, the people who do the essential work, justly and fairly. Thinking of the full-time, permanent faculty is something that's only going to continue unless all of us who are invested in the project of quality education and the project of dedicated teaching, stand up and say that they will not be able to do that. More often than not, the tenure line that they were on won't be replaced. Why does the administration get to do this? And without a union, it's going to be as easy for them to keep on doing this as it has been for the last 20 or 30 years. Collective bargaining historically has been one of the only ways of leveling the playing field a bit between employer and employee. Union membership has declined. It's easier for employers in the absence of unions to exploit their workers. It's especially true at a university where we are putting so much of ourselves into the work we do. If all the part-timers stand up, and all the students who are paying through the nose to be here stand up and say this is unacceptable, that's what's going to work. That's what's going to force them to change what they're doing.